Welcome to this tutorial on how we can start to put soundtrack and score, music score to animation. So I'm going to make sure, I'm going to be fair about this, you're going to have the same equipment as me. I'm not going to go into my studio with all my fancy equipment for music. We're going to be using the iPad app. We're going to use the Garageband app on the iPad, so obviously you'll need to make sure you load that up on your tablet. And the animation we're going to use is Pixar's The Blue Umbrella, a brilliant animation which of course already has music on top of it, but we're going to have a go at creating our own version of that soundtrack. And I'll show you on screen what I'm doing on the iPad, and we'll also, on the laptop in front of me, I'm going to have the animation. Now you might be lucky to have a laptop, or you might just have it on your screen at school. So if I just go into my iPad and start recording the screen, you can see where I'm on. So you're going to come to this first screen with the keyboard on, and what you need to do is press on the keyboard. What we need to do is give ourselves a little bit of space to play with. So we're going to have 32 bars. So I'm going to click on the plus sign at the top right hand corner and then press on where it says 8 bars. Because I don't just want 8 bars, that's not long enough. So I'm going to go all the way up to 32. So either scroll the arrow up or tap it up and down to get to 32 beats. There we go. So I've given myself a little bit more room to play with. Now, I'll have a little look at the animation. Let's look at the animation we're going to use first of all. So I'm going to go from the very start of the Blue Umbrella, but obviously I'm not going to play any sound. I'm just going to watch what I'm going to be scoring. So there we go. So I want some ideas for the start. Now obviously all we've got at the start is the picture of almost like the city coming to life, and obviously drops of rain. Now if I go into where it says Classical Grand and click on Other, there we go, we've got all our orchestra instruments. I'm going to start with the clarinet. And I just want a really simple phrase. Not that. Could be that. So let's try this out. Okay, let's record. I like those notes. Fabulous. Now, if I click on this one, if I click on the shape top left-hand corner with the rectangles, I'm just going to click on it now. You will go to your main score, so you'll see what you've recorded, and you can squiz this up and down to see where you are. I'm going to add another instrument. Just add another instrument, go to the blocks, and then basically as soon as you press on a new instrument, it will add that to what you're creating. I want a bit of glockenspiel. Something like that. Something like that in. Now we're getting into the main bit, so here we go. I think what I'd quite like, if I just try this now with, I'm going to add a bit of piano. So if I go to here, my favourite instrument of course, and click on the main bit and go to keyboards, you'll then find all the keyboard sounds. I want to scroll it up, so I'm just going to scroll the keyboard up a bit. Yes. Now I'm going to play that same melody I just wrote because I think that's a really nice melody to use. So all I do now is press record. I've set the tempo, if I show you here, at 85. You can set it what you want to set it, but in a minute now, when the metronome plays, you'll hear it ticking and I can now play in time. So if I press record. There we go. So that's my main bit of piano. So now you can see my clarinet bit. Let's play it. Okay, so that's a nice little start. So obviously all I now do, every time I press a new instrument, it will automatically add it to it. I want a bit of bass. It's good to have bass. So let's go to my bass bits and we'll do smart bass. Yes, now what I'm showing you here is the bass guitar and I'm going to play F first. So let's record it in. So again, once I go back, you can see that all taking shape. They're starting to come in. I might decide to play that bass in a bit later. Let's put something you'll really like using, kids, actually, is the synth sound. Here's my cat. Hey, this is Coco. That was a brief appearance. She's gone. Well, she's there. She's watching me. She obviously likes to watch me compose music. You know, she'll get her violin out in a minute and start playing. Keyboard. Shush, Gareth. Let's go to synth pads. Oh yeah, we like synth pads. And now we're on synth pads, you can decide what kind of sound you'd want. Lotus Pond, you know, there's... Yeah. I mean, there's water involved, isn't there? There's rain involved, there's a storm. Here we go. So what we're doing is we are layering sounds in. That's what this is called. We're layering sounds. Look, we've got layers of sounds coming in together now. Now, actually, I don't want that bass in yet. I'm going to move that there. Because what we want to do, we want the day to gradually come alive. So we want these instruments to build and build, because obviously it's going to build to a storm at the end. But this is the start of the day with the rain gradually coming down, and obviously it's going to lift at some point. Brilliant. Now, a really easy thing to do, children. Make a simple melody like I've made here and keep repeating it. Don't make it too difficult so you're making loads of different notes that you'll never remember. So watch. Really good trick. Tap on it. Press copy. Move it over and paste. Let's paste more. Paste. Let's take this one. Copy it. So I'm copying the bass guitar. And paste. Let's take the Lotus Pond. Let's take the Lotus Pond. Sounds random, doesn't it? And paste that. And let's put another bit here. Here we go. Now I want some strings. So if I add some strings, I'll go to the string instruments. String instruments. Smart strings is good because it will go in time. The reason smart strings is useful, it goes in time. I'm going to go to romantic. I want it to be romantic. Like that. You ready? Watch this, where the magic's going to happen. Wait a minute. I need to check I'm coming in the right way. Yes, I am. Watch this. So if you are going to use chords and notes, you've got to make sure they tie in, obviously. So let's go back and listen. Oh, I've added the strings. Now, obviously, what we need to do is keep looking at the animation as you're doing this to check it fits. So I can keep looking at the laptop and watch the screen as I'm doing it and try and match it with the film as I'm looking at with the score that I'm creating. Might add a bit of flute over that as well. But for now, let me just copy that, because obviously now I'll copy it. I can add another track. Wow. So I've now got loads of tracks. But of course, what we want, let me show you that little clip. As we start seeing the umbrellas, I want a beat to kick in. So it's almost like, obviously, because all the umbrellas start walking along. So we've had this nice gentle drop bit with the city coming alive. And then I want the drums to kick in. So it's like the umbrellas are all walking together. You're going to love this bit as well. Because if you go to... let's find it. Yeah, go to where it says drums. Click on Smart Drums. And now I can slide things in that I want to use. pleased with that. And that's all done on the iPad. That's exactly what you've got in front of you. Obviously, I know my chord sequences. You know, I'm a music teacher, I should know chords and where notes fit in. And that's where you might struggle and where you'll have to ask your music teacher to help a little bit. So you're playing chords at the right time, at the same time. So if I play F on the piano chord, I then want to use my synth. I make sure I play F at the same time, and then C, whatever chord you want to use. But the key thing here is you don't have to worry too much about chord sequence. It's just a nice simple melody. And the drum sequence is a really good one to use, especially when you get to the storm bit. If you want to make it a little bit more exciting, the drum sequence does a lot of the work for you. Okay, and it will go in time with whatever tempo it's set up. So really, it's just exploring and having a go with looking at parts of your animation and playing some little melodies along and then recording them in. Okay, and I'll be there to help you with making sure they're slotted into the right place. But this is just a simple way of showing you how Garageband works and how you layer sounds, and we're using animation. This is the best bit though, of course. We'll now watch what that sounds like with the animation I've created. Okay, so I'm going to show you now what that looks like with the animation and the sound score together. Off you go. Have a good time doing it. I'm sure you will. Bye bye.